Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Are You Crazy Enough? So, one thing that came to mind was the fact that there are a lot more people on the market now looking for jobs, and with COVID and the impact that it's had on the economy and businesses, there are a lot of businesses that filed bankruptcy or they've downsized, reduced the workforce. So there's a lot more people out there that are currently fighting for the same roles. So if before now it's more of too much supply, not enough demand. So what do you do? I know I worked for an organization that shut down and closed up a few weeks ago, actually last month. And someone asked me, so what are you going to do? This gives me a great opportunity to really figure that out. But the reason why I'm having this discussion today with you is because this is more important for anyone who's currently looking for a job to really be you. Because I think what happens is we get desperate and we change up to fit a need because we want the job. But sometimes trying to take any job or changing up who you are so that way you have a better chance of acquiring that job can cost you down the road. So it's important that you really understand the kind of culture you want to be a part of, why that specific company in general, that organization, what are your values, and are they aligned with the company's values? And does it meet your long-term expectations for where you want to be? So I'll give you a perfect example, a great story. I wasn't desperate at the time. I was employed, but I had an opportunity to join another organization. And I went for the wrong reasons. I went because the package was amazing. And the money was amazing. And the recognition that the position would bring was great for my resume. Never really doing my research on the kind of culture that I was signing to join. And because of that, I realized my first 30 days, I made a huge mistake. I left an organization where I believed in the values. I had a promising career there, but I grew impatient. Because I have an expectation for myself, and there's a growth strategy that I have, and I hold myself accountable to achieving that. And at that time, had I just been a little patient, I would have with the organization that I left. And I joined another because there were some recognizable faces. And the incentive and the financial reward was, I couldn't pass it up. But the values were not aligned with mine. The culture was toxic. And I just did not fit. And I regretted that decision. So I spent my next few months trying to repair the damage that I felt I caused myself and get myself out of that situation and in that environment. It was immediate when I joined from day one that I would have to change who I was to fit into that culture. I'm genuinely respectful, approachable, dependable, uh, team player, selfless in my leadership style. But in this environment, I was required to be the opposite. Instead of an influencer coach, a dictator manager was the culture in the environment. A director. And instead of building people up, there was a style of speaking to people that was downward. Definitely not motivating or uplifting. It just wasn't me. Had to conform to a certain way, had to have lunch with certain people that I just did not feel good about being around. So I wasn't going to compromise who I was. And I made that very clear, and it was obvious. And so there was a separation. It was everybody, and then there was me. And I was okay with that. And I also knew what would come with that. So when you stand up for you, know this, that sometimes you're going to become a target. For no other reason but because you won't adjust, and the psychological answer or solution for the environment you're not adjusting to is that you're making the environment uncomfortable. So the environment needs to remove you. So here's an example of me making a decision out of greed, in a sense, right? Big lesson I learned from it. There were some positive things that came out of it, some people that I was responsible for, that I was able to help influence, and they've blossomed. And when I left, they left. They blossomed in other organizations, which is really good. But it left a bad taste in my mouth, and I recognized that I would not put myself in a position to be desperate or chase just the money. I want to be in an environment where I am around like-minded people. So when I got to join a new organization, yeah, there was a cut in salary, but the culture was that much more rewarding. And I was okay with that. I enjoyed the people I worked with. I felt supported. I felt that I was being appreciated for who I was, not who I was expected to be. So that's my recommend. In a time where you're fighting for a piece of the pie, don't compromise your DNA, because you'll wind up paying for it down the road. Take your time now to find the right organization that you both will benefit from having. They'll benefit by having you, and you'll benefit by being part of their team. That they recognize that they brought you on because of your talents, not because they want you to conform. So let your true personality shine. Don't mask it. It's like setting the table. It was like Thanksgiving. You go over to that family member's home, and they have a beautiful setting. They have the best silverware, china, everything's out, decorated nicely. The meal looks amazing. But when everybody leaves, the reality is they're trying to figure out how to pay the bills. That picture was just a picture. But inside the box is something different. Inside the book is something different. So put on the best version of you. Don't be anyone else. And there's going to be that somebody that recognizes you. Because believe me, there's going to be a point with those recruiters, they're seeing so many people that Some of them are going to not have the patience, and some of them are not going to recognize your talent. Whose loss is it? You know, but when you're in that room, interview the organization just as much as they're interviewing you. Make sure it's the right organization. Because here's my motto: you're going to get your money's worth when you bring me onto your team. I just want to make sure I am provided with the environment, the culture that's going to allow me to be at my best, because you'll benefit from it. That's the mentality you have to have. So this is Are You Crazy Enough? If you like this episode, give us a thumbs up. If you have any comments, please comment below. I respond quickly. If there's anything that you'd like me to discuss on this channel, let me know. Hit subscribe. Hit that thumbs up. YouTube likes those thumbs up. Follow me on Instagram at Are You Crazy Enough? I appreciate you. And remember, there's only one you. Don't change that for anybody. Have a blessed day.